help us.
I await your command.
Welcome back to your nerdy show. I'm your host, Spoiler Master. So, you've read The Sandman or binged the Netflix show and you're wondering, wait, Dream dies? And someone else takes over? Yep, buckle up, because the story of Daniel Hall, Morphew's successor, is one of the most mind-bending and emotional arcs in all of Neil Gaiman's Sandman saga. Let's dive into the origin, the transformation, and the new face of Dream, the white-haired Daniel, who is not just a reincarnation but a whole new version of the cosmic force that governs dreams. The mortal beginnings of Daniel Hall. Before he was the white-robed Lord of Dreams, Daniel Hall was just a baby. Quite literally. He was born to Hector Hall and Lyta Hall, two former superheroes who'd hung up their capes and settled into a quieter, if not weirder, life. But here's where it gets trippy. During Morphew's long absence, while he was imprisoned in that glass sphere by Roderick Burgess, two rogue dream creatures named Brute and Glob escaped and decided to have a little fun. They set up their own mini-dreaming and resurrected Hector Hall's spirit, crowning him their own version of Sandman. A bootleg Sandman, if you will. Hector pulled Lyta into this dream bubble with him, where time functioned differently. She spent years inside, pregnant, while Daniel remained in a kind of supernatural stasis. Imagine being pregnant for literal years because your baby exists in dream time. When Morpheus finally escaped his imprisonment and returned to reclaim his realm, he wasn't exactly thrilled with what Brute and Glob had done. He banished the two, sent Hector's spirit to the afterlife, and returned Lyta to the waking world. But not before warning her, "Your child was born in the dreaming, and one day, I will come for him." Lyta, understandably, was not a fan of that ominous declaration. Dreams promise. Not long after Daniel was born, Morpheus visited again and subtly laid claim to the boy. He didn't kidnap him or do anything overtly hostile. He just said, "His name is Daniel," and walked off like some eldritch godfather. Lyta wasn't stupid. She knew something cosmic was brewing. But life went on. Daniel grew. Well, kind of. For the longest time, he remained an infant throughout most of the Sandman series. But even as a baby, his dreams took him places most adults would never imagine. He first stepped into the dreaming on his own as a toddler. In one of his dreams, Daniel stumbled into the House of Secrets, where he met Cain, Abel, Eve, Matthew the Raven, and even the adorable gargoyle Goldie. It was clear then, this kid was special. The dreaming recognized him, and it would soon need him. The kidnapping that changed everything. Here's where things take a dark turn. Daniel was kidnapped. The culprits? None other than Loki, the Norse trickster god, and Puck, the mischievous elf from A Midsummer Night's Dream. Their actions triggered a domino effect that would ultimately lead to Morphew's death. Now, Lyta was devastated. Her son had vanished, and her mental state began to unravel. And guess who showed up in her dreams? The Furies, also known as the Kindly Ones. They whispered to her that Morpheus had taken Daniel. Whether or not she fully believed, it didn't matter. In her grief, she needed someone to blame. And Morpheus, the mysterious, looming figure who'd claimed her son before he was even born, was the perfect target. So Lyta struck a deal with the Furies. She asked them to avenge Daniel. And in doing so, she unintentionally set the wheels in motion for the destruction of Dream himself. The death of Morpheus. Once the Kindly Ones begin their rampage through the dreaming, there's no stopping them. That's the thing about the Furies. They don't back down once they've accepted a blood debt. While all this was happening, Morpheus had managed to locate Daniel. He sent Matthew and the new version of the Corinthian to rescue him, and they succeeded. Daniel was returned to the dreaming, safe and sound. But Lyta wasn't done yet. Possessed by the power of the Furies, she charged into the dreaming, ready to kill Morpheus. When she found her son alive and well, her rage melted into confusion and regret. She tried to take it back. She begged the Furies to stop, but it was too late. The ancient laws of vengeance demanded payment in blood. Morpheus knew this. And so, in one of the most heartbreaking moments in the series, Dream accepts his fate. But not before he speaks to Daniel and quietly hands him the Emerald Dreamstone, a symbol of his office. And then, Morpheus dies. The birth of a new dream. Morpheus doesn't reincarnate in a traditional sense. Instead, the aspect of Dream, the cosmic role itself, is reborn in Daniel Hall. He doesn't grow into it slowly. The transformation is immediate. The white light engulfs Daniel, and when it fades, the child is gone. In his place stands the new dream of the Endless, a younger, softer, white-haired incarnation of the cosmic entity. The robe is different, the vibe is different, but the mantle of power, just as heavy. Daniel becomes the new Lord of Dreams. Daniel as Dream, a new perspective. So how is Daniel different from Morpheus? That's a big question. Morpheus was proud, stern, sometimes emotionally distant. He was steeped in tradition and often unwilling to bend, even when it cost him dearly. He loved deeply, but struggled to forgive. In the end, that rigidity may have led to his downfall. Daniel is almost the opposite. He's curious, gentle, open to change. Where Morpheus ruled with a heavy crown, Daniel walks with a lighter step. He listens. He empathizes. And though he's technically the same cosmic entity as Morpheus, he's a different version of that being, a different point of view. The denizens of the dreaming notice the change. Even Matthew the Raven, who was fiercely loyal to Morpheus, has to admit that Daniel is a kinder boss. The hippogriff that never let anyone touch it? Daniel pets it. That small detail says it all. Daniel's powers and responsibilities. Now don't let Daniel's calm vibe and soft voice fool you. This guy is just as powerful as Morpheus ever was. I mean, his dream of the Endless. That title alone comes with a cosmic-level skill set. He's got absolute control over sleep and dreams, just like his predecessor. He's immortal, because let's not forget, the Endless aren't gods or mortals, they're concepts. You can't really kill a concept, at least, not permanently. And yeah, he can teleport anywhere, even between realms. Hell? No problem. Other universes? Easy. He can change his appearance whenever he wants, has strength and endurance far beyond anything human, and can literally conjure dreams and nightmares like it's nothing. But wait, it gets crazier. He can bend reality inside the dreaming, use magic that's basically god tier, manipulate light, move stuff with his mind. The list goes on. If Morpheus could do it, Daniel absolutely can too. But here's the thing that makes Daniel different. It's not just about what he can do, it's about how he chooses to do it. Unlike Morpheus, who was all about rules and control, Daniel leads with compassion. Remember what Lyta did? She basically got Morpheus killed by unleashing the Furies on him, and Daniel still forgave her. During the Infinite Crisis event, when magic itself was unraveling, Daniel didn't sit back. He rescued the souls of his mortal parents, Hector and Lyta, sparing them from some really brutal consequences. And one of the most telling things? He even showed mercy to Alex Burgess, the same guy who helped keep Morpheus imprisoned in a glass sphere for 70 years. Morpheus cursed him with eternal nightmares, but Daniel? He just lets the man wake up in peace. That's who Daniel is. Powerful? Absolutely. But he doesn't use that power to punish. He uses it to heal, to protect, and to forgive. And that right there? That's the kind of dream the world needs. The Dreamstone and the future. Daniel still wears the Emerald Dreamstone, but he's aware that one day, he may have to destroy it. Because unlike Morpheus, who saw his tools as integral to his identity, Daniel understands that change is inevitable. He's not clinging to the past. He's dreaming of the future. Even his appearance reflects this new philosophy. The white clothing, the soft voice, the unassuming demeanor, all of it signifies rebirth, hope, and progress. Weaknesses and the rules he must follow. Of course, being Dream doesn't make Daniel invincible. Like all the Endless, he's bound by rules. He can't kill family without losing his protections. He can't fall in love with a mortal without damning them. He can't break the ancient customs that define the Endless. These rules aren't just ceremonial, they are cosmic laws. And Daniel, like Morpheus before him, is still figuring out how to live within them. Our nerdy thoughts. Daniel Hall's journey from human infant to cosmic deity is one of the most fascinating arcs in The Sandman. It's about transformation, it's about letting go, and it's about how power can be wielded with kindness instead of control. In many ways, Daniel is the dream we needed, a fresh start after centuries of cold distance. He's the embodiment of evolution in a universe that resists it. And his story shows us that even in a realm ruled by myth and magic, change is the only true constant. So, what do you think of Daniel as the new Dream? Is he a worthy successor to Morpheus, or someone completely new? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the Sandman universe, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more breakdowns, lore explorations, and endless secrets. Until next time, keep dreaming.
No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.